That and it's funny you mentioned the behind the scenes stuff because as much as you're on the field, showing your product and you're essentially everyone's marketing themselves, selling themselves, right? And you don't realize the work you put behind the scenes. It's talked about like, oh, you put lot of hard work in, but the step by step stuff, people just don't know.
Yeah,
Like,
no, they don't. I mean, there's so much that goes into it, and like kind of speaking of that, like we're training for a pro day that involves what, like 6 different drills. You have the bench press, you have the vertical, the broad jump, you have the L cone drill, the pro shuttle, uh, and then you have the 40. And it's like
hmm
you're training, like I've been training since January 3rd, and you train up until your pro day
hmm
just for those drills. And it's like people don't realize, it seems like for the average person so easy, especially when you're watching a combine on TV, for these guys to just show up and just do this stuff. But there's so much technique and training that goes into these different drills,
hmm
just so you can get your times down to as little as like humanly possible. So there is so much just in this that goes behind the scenes, let alone playing the sport itself and playing football. So there's a lot to it.
Well, it's actually funny you mention that, like the little nichey stuff that it's coached or the little tricks to get your time speed out. And I just saw a video, and it was by I guess an NFL trainer, maybe I don't know if he's a coach or what, but he was talking about I think it was like maybe foot position or the way you have to have your hands ready and whatnot just to get like 0.3 seconds off of your time. I
Yeah,
was
I
like, that's
mean, there's a
insane.
lot to it. Like when we're talking about like pro agility, like the 5-10-5.
Yeah.
I mean, the way you're literally counting steps. Like, so from the start to the first touch, you're taking like 4 crossover steps, and then you're touching, and it depends on, where your foot placement is on the line. If you're going to be able to accelerate better, or you're going to take a weird little jab step that's going to lower your time a little bit. So, um, yeah, it's things like that that people don't realize, and there's so many. I didn't even realize it before I got into the process how detailed it really was, and it's important stuff though. To you might not think it's important, like these drills, like might not necessarily translate onto a football field for at least some positions, but for this big job interview, they're super important. So you're going to train them as much as you possibly can.